Before we get to the topic of today's update, I wanted to share a quote with you. Over 100 years ago, one of the great minds of the time said that we would soon have access to a cheap and simple device, which might be carried in one's pocket, may then be set up somewhere on sea or land, and it will record the world's news or such special messages as may be intended for it. Thus, the entire Earth will be converted into a huge brain, as it were, capable of response in every one of its parts. Now, I don't know about you, but when I read this quote, I think of a mobile phone. However, we have yet to accomplish the same level of mobility that Nikola Tesla dreamed up. We still rely on cables for one crucial piece of our phones: power. Now, here at Apple, we see this as a problem, and we hope that we can fix that. But first, let's get the history behind this quote. In 1888, Heinrich Hertz proved the existence of electromagnetic waves when he created a spark in a transmitter that induced a spark in the receiver. Nikola Tesla was inspired when he learned of this work, and he had successfully developed a high-tension induction coil by 1891, which allowed him to demonstrate wireless energy transmission. By 1894, he had successfully developed the technology to wirelessly light an incandescent light bulb in his laboratory. And by 1896, he had successfully transmitted power by 30 miles, encouraging him to construct Wardenclyffe Tower in 1901. Funded by American financier J.P. Morgan, this tower was designed for wireless broadcasting and power transmission. However, he quickly ran into delays and J.P. Morgan defunded the project. No great advancements were made for more than 50 years. This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything, and Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, Apple introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the entire computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod, and it didn't just change the way we all listen to music, it changed the entire music industry. In 2007, we introduced the iPhone, and it didn't just change the way we communicate with each other, it changed the entire communication industry. Well, today, we are introducing another revolutionary product. We are introducing the iCharge, a new, revolutionary way to charge your iPhone. It's the first ever truly wireless charging solution. Now, I know a lot of you are going to come up to me and ask, well, I thought wireless charging already existed. All of the competition seems to use it except for Apple. Well, you see, we define wireless charging differently than they do. Inductive charging is currently our competition's best option. And the way inductive charging works is a transmitter coil creates an alternating magnetic field. This flux is then converted into an electric current in the receiver coil. However, only part of the generated magnetic flux penetrates the receiver coil on the phone, leading to extremely inefficient power transmission. Therefore, inductive charging only works well when the coils are extremely close. With phones, this means that the charging pad and the phone must be touching. And yes, all of this means that we're behind Tesla. Now, here at Apple, we're extremely excited to pioneer wireless charging just as we have with other technologies in the past. Now, we are going to start by building iCharge into the iPhone 7. And, as opposed to inductive charging, iCharge is based off of resonance charging. We have increased the distance that you can charge a device using resonance. Therefore, both the receiver and the transmitter are resonating at the same frequency. Now, one of the biggest benefits of wireless charging is the ability to have the device fully enclosed, so we got rid of the charging port. We don't think it's necessary any longer. The only thing that we would really need to use a cable for is to transfer files. But we are using a revolutionary new standard called iBluetooth to wirelessly transfer files from your computer to your iPhone. In addition, the lack of open ports also allows the device to be waterproof. All of this is ensuring an extremely bright wireless future. Now, I know we have a lot of engineers joining this webcast, so we'll go ahead and put up an equation. On the left side of the equation is a closed surface integral of the electric field. In this case, it is essentially a voltage. The right side of the equation is one of Maxwell's equations. In electrostatics, it is equal to 0, but in time-varying fields, it is not. To generate a magnetic field, we need to change either the magnetic flux, B, the surface area, S, or both. The time-varying magnetic flux will induce a voltage. Since the inner workings of the iCharge are extremely proprietary, I will present a diagram from one of our partners. Going off of the equation from the last slide, we can see here that the AC power source is used to generate an alternating magnetic field that extends to the coil in the receiving device. In the receiver coil, the alternating magnetic field induces an electric current. This is then converted into DC, which provides a source of power for the receiving device. And to ensure that the devices operate at their resonant frequency, an impedance network is established in both the transmitter and the receiver. When I was at our factories earlier this month, one of the engineers put together a brief demonstration of the current industry standard, inductive charging. So here we have the inductor coil. It's just hooked up to a signal generator that's supplying 1.04 megahertz at 10 volts peak to peak. And then here we have the LED side, which is just an LED hooked up to a coil of wire or an inductor. So we're going to put the piece of paper between the two to show that they're not connected. So you can see that the LED is now glowing. Take it off, it turns off. It's glowing again. When we were creating the iCharge, we received a lot of support from corporate America. Several companies have agreed to help us bring wireless charging to consumers. Apple will be incorporating iCharge into their store design so that while you are purchasing your next Apple product, your phone will be automatically charging. McDonald's and Jack in the Box have both ensured that their store design will incorporate iCharge so that while you are enjoying their food, you will be charging your iPhone automatically. Walmart, Target, IKEA, Rooms To Go, Kohl's, Belk, and Sam's Club have all agreed to ensure that 25% of the high-quality furniture that they sell will incorporate iCharge. And probably most significant is the U.S. government. After some talks with the president, he has decided to work around Congress and will sign an executive order allocating funds to install iCharge into various government buildings around Washington, D.C., so that government officials can play on their iPhones all day and not have to worry about dead batteries. It looks like we have enough time for a few questions. Our first question is from Mr. Day.
Mr. Day here, Wall Drive Journal. Now, let me be clear. Do you expect the iCharge and the iPhone 7 to increase Apple's earnings for the quarter?
Great question. We expect the iPhone 7 to sell better than the previous iPhones. We feel that we have borrowed enough from our competition to make our products at the same level. Our next question is from Mr. Sanchez.
Hello, it's Mr. Sanchez, Tecnología Central. Does Apple have any plans to release the iCharge on any other devices?
Oh, another great question. We are planning to release the iCharge on both the Apple Watch and the MacBook Pro later this year. We believe we've stumbled upon something great, so we want all Apple users to have access to the iCharge. Our last question for today will be from Mr. Cunningham.
Mr. Cunningham here, Business Day Journal. By finally using wireless charging in the iPhone, is Apple admitting that the competition was right 3 years ago when the Nexus 4 was released?
Great question. You are correct. Wireless charging has been around for a few years, but the Nexus 4 was the device that relied on inductive charging. You see, the iCharge is superior in every way, so we don't worry about the Nexus 4. With all of this, we bring today's event to a close, and I hope that you are looking forward to the iCharge being available with the iPhone 7 next month.